Hello, hello. One of the things that it is Mother's Day, and we went with I love these guys. Yeah, one of the things that I am noticing with playing these puzzles is how repetitive some of the, introductory stuff can get. So, the description of the video should certainly have the same links, the same information every time, but me saying it over and over gets a bit, tiresome, for me anyway. Probably for you too. Maybe I can start in the top left corner. This is going to be a 5 bordered by something that goes into a 10 and 2, so 4, 5, or 6 being the only options that'll fit. I have a 5, 6. I don't have a 5, 5, but I do have a 5, 4. So either one of those could work. If it's going to be a 5, 6, then we need a 4 greater than 2. Yeah, we got a couple options that would... Nope, not that. 4, 4, or 4, 5 could do, though. And then if it was a 5, 4, then we need a 6 greater than 2. Oh, are 6 going... Are these 2 6 dominoes containing 6s, so 3 6s total, are they going to be employed elsewhere? Hard to say. We have places they'll fit, so greater than 4, greater than 3. But all of the requirements are on the low end, except for this 10. Yeah, this greater than 4, this greater than 2, greater than 3, greater than 3, a 9, which is a 4, 5, or a 6, 3. But everything else, and maybe this equals. If we needed to hide a 6, 6 there, we could get it done. Yeah, we might try and keep track of where we can get rid of high numbers. This 0 in 3, all 3 zeros, and the middle square is a 0 bordered by a 0, so we know it's going to be there or there. The stagger of the top ring will determine which one of those, and then we do know that these 2 squares and these 2 squares have their own dominoes, separate from whether we go here or here. Do we have a domino that sums to 9 by itself? We have a 5, 4. We don't have a 6, 3. So hypothetically, we could do this with a 5, 4, either 5, 1, or the 3, 3 sum to 6. We don't have a 4. Oh, we do have a 4, 2. We have so many choices. And then a 0 less than 2 would be the 0, 1 there. Whereas if we went the other direction with that 0, 0, we would need to use the 0, 4, and then kick off with the 5 something. I think either one works, though. So the only placement here that I'm really certain about is the 0, 0, and I don't know which location. With this many open squares, I don't want to guess more than that. Greater than 3, less than 3. Let's see, 4, 1 or 5, 1 could both satisfy that. The 4, 0 could do as well. The 4, 2 could do as well. So we'll get back to that significantly later. We can't use, for this green equals equals, or 2 squares that are equals, we can't use the 0, 0, it'll be busy up here. We could use the 1, 1. The 2, 2, the 3, 3, 4, 4. We don't have a 5, 5, but we have a 6, 6. So we have a lot of doublets today. One of them will be in the cyan. Don't know which one. And then it'll go into something that are equals. This green triple equals might be of some interest, because we can tell the stagger. This less than 2, greater than 2. This square only borders one thing, so we would need maybe something like this to be here. The greater than 3 equals, the greater than 4 equals, and then something with a doublet equals. All end up in the same spot. So greater than 4 is going to be a 5-4, a 6-6. We know that's not it, because if this was a 6-6, we wouldn't have two more 6s to finish off the green. Talking about this spot. The 6-5 also wouldn't work. We don't have that many 5s. No, we do. We just barely could get it to work that way. If we did that, we'd have to be careful about being able to... Yeah, that would kill our dreams over here. If we used up all the 5s on making the green equals over here 5s, we wouldn't have a 5 left to do a 4-5. This is a 0-4. The 0-1 wouldn't work, so either way, that location for the 0-0 wouldn't work, and then we have the same problem here. We were going to use the 5-4 because it sums to 9. We don't have any domino that sums to 9. So, all that to say, this can't be 5s. This triple green can't be 5s. That's nice to be able to say this early. Maybe we can lock down what it is. It's something that ties to a greater than 4. So it could still be 4s. Like that, I believe. We don't actually know the 4-1, because a 4-2 with a 2-2 would work there as well. But it would use up the 4-4 to do this as 4s. Yeah, we can't get it done with 6s, we can't get it done with 5s. Hypothetically, we could get it done with 4s. It would look something like this. Maybe we could do this, or the 4-0, honestly. That does use up the 4-5 again, so we can't do this placement. Don't have a domino that sums to 9 available, but we could still do this. If we have another 5, we do. We only have 2 choices of 5. This 5-1 would require another 5, and the 5-6 would break the purple. So it's going to instead be a 5-6. And then our only remaining 0-1. So all that would be forced if we're trying to make this work with 4s. We still don't know these. Could be a 4-1, 1-1, or a 4-2, 2-2. But this is quite promising. With this out, either the 5-1, the 4-1, or the 4-2 could all work in these. So I can't see anything there yet. This, now that we've used up so many of our zeros over here, this purple would be a 1-1. And this less than 2 would require the 1-1 there. So now we can say, under the assumption that the green triple here is a 4s, we would have to use the 4-2 and 2-2, now that the 1-1's no longer available. This could be a 1-4 or 1-5. This 5 breaks us. Yep. We didn't really need to mess around with the 1s, the 2s from all the way back here. Trying to make this green 4s. Placed enough things over here that our 5-6 and 5-4 got used. One of those we're going to need for this top left corner into the cyan, because a 5-1 would require a 9 to finish it out, and we only have up to 6 for each square. All that to say that this green triple can't be 4s either. Pretty sure. So, what else could it be? Can it be 3s? we lose at the first hurdle. There's no 3 that pairs with a greater than 1. We have a 3, 3. And that's the only other 3s. Don't have a ton. How about 2s? We have a 2, 4, but we don't have a 2, 5, 2, 6. Yep, looks like 2s won't work. How about 1s? We don't have a 1, 6, but we do have a 1, 5. In fact, I would go so far as to say that because we know the 0, 0 is in play over here, we don't have 3 more zeros remaining. We've checked everything else, so we know that it is 1s. And then from there, we can place other things pretty quick. So 1, 5 is used up, 1, 6 doesn't exist, 1, 4 is the only other thing that can satisfy this greater than 3. 1 something down to there. We can't do a 1, 1, because then we wouldn't have a 1, 1 to finish out the cyan. We don't have the 0, 0 either. 1, 2, or 1, 3. Either one functions. Okay, we don't get to actually place this yet, but it's going to be either a 1, 2, or a 1, 3. Good to know. 5. Okay, can we say this is either a 0, 4, 5 goes around, or a 0, 1, things go around. I don't know if we can say that yet. The 5, 1 and the 5, 4 weren't super required in that sequence, I think. What else can we say at this juncture? Let's check this location. So we know that this is going to be either a 5, 6 or a 5, 4 coming down into the cyan. We don't have a 5, 5. So the only values for the other corner of the cyan are a 4 or a 6, depending on whether we use this 5, 6 or this 5, 4. Greater than 2 to a 4 or a 6. We could do the 4, 4 or the 5, 4 under this configuration. Or if we were going to use the 5, 4 to get the purple 5, it would be either the 5, 6 or 6, 6. Still some choice there. Can't say... Can't even say that this is 2 1s yet, hypothetically. Could be a 4, 2, 0, 1. That would work. That would require doing the 0, 4, because it's the only other 0 to finish out the 0, 0. That would require maybe the 5, 2, 5, 4, 2, 1. Could get it done. Or, yeah, 5, 6, 0, 1 is no longer available with the 0, 1 over here, but like that could be made to work. Oh. Less than 2, greater than 2. Works with the 1, 3 only out of what we have remaining. This is guessing, though. This is guessing the 5. This is guessing the 4, 2, 0, 1, and then other things based on that. I'd be curious to see what we've broken. Okay, yeah, we've broken the options here. 1, 3, 3, 3, 1, 2, 2, 2 are both off the table now. And 1, 1, we don't have enough 1s. So we need to backtrack at least this far. Maybe that's enough to say, yeah. I think that's enough to say that the 1, 0 can't be here. Could the 1, 2 be there? And the 0, 4? That would be the only other... Not that way. That would be the only other way that this purple 2 could be a 0, 2. In that case, we would need our 0, 1 there, our 5, 4 there, because it's the only domino that sums to 9. We had multiple that summed to 6. We used up the 1, 5. We still have the 4, 2 or the 3, 3 to finish off the pink. What else is dedicated at this point? The 1, 3, now that we used the 1, 2, the 1, 3, 3, 3 would be in use. So the 4, 2 is the only thing that sums to 6 now that the 3, 3 is gone. The 4, 2 was one of the things that could satisfy this dark blue, light blue here. Is there anything else? No. So at this point, this breaks, and we can backtrack to say that there's no way to make this purple out of 0, 2. It's going to be 1s. If it is 1s, then either the 1, 1 is going to be here, or the 1, 0 to satisfy the less than 2. And I don't know which yet. If it's the 1, 0, that means that our 0 options are more limited, so let's see if that breaks, and then we can place the 1, 1 if not. 5, 6 would require the 1, 0. That's in use, so 5, 4 and 2, 1 is going to be forced under these conditions. And that means that the 1, 3 follows here, and then the 3, 3. I'm getting kind of comfortable placing that. And now the less than 2, greater than 2 doesn't have anything to satisfy it. Okay, I think then that means this can't be the 1, 0, so it has to be the 1, 1. If that's the case, then we are able to say something useful here. We have only 3 dominoes with a 1 on it left, 1, 0, 1, 2, and 1, 3. The 1, 3 is the only thing that can satisfy this greater than 2. That means the 1, 2, and 2, 2 fall out from here. That means what? We can do the 0, 4 to satisfy that, which... Is that the only thing that satisfies it? Yeah? Yeah, because with the only 1 left is a 1, 0, that won't do it. So the 0, 4 is needed to do this, pink and dark blue. That's new. That's good to see. Now we can't do the 0, 4 into the 9, so it's going to be 0, 1. 5, 4 is the only one that sums to 9. 3, 3 or 4, 2 both sum to 6, so we can't place that yet, but this is only satisfied by the 4, 2, so now we can. Yeah, this feels cleaner. Okay, 5, 6, 4, 4, and what do you know, it was a 6, 6 in that green after all. Whew! Always a bit more time involved in the hard puzzles than the easy or medium. That felt nice and meaty. Yeah, there was a lot going on there. I think basing off the triple green, trying to find values that would work there was a decent starting point, but I'm wondering, and hopefully with the solver we can dig back in, if maybe starting this purple would have been more fruitful, or if there was more that we could have done starting with this triple 0 in the green. I think... Yeah, I don't see the other ones being super likely as a starting point, but who knows, maybe something. Alright, thank you for joining. If you have any questions for me or comments, please do say hi. Bye.